Hey guys, it's Fandoms X Listener here, back again with another Fandoms X Listener video. And we're bringing back a fandom finally. Drumroll please. The Sonic fandom. I am finally comfortable again with doing the Sonic fandom, and you guys were begging endlessly, which didn't bother me. And I know in the past I was being very relentlessly a jerk and rude. I was being very rude, and I realized that maybe hurt other people's feelings. I don't know. It probably, kind of made people stop watching me less, which I do not mind, but I know that many of you have Sonic comfort characters like Espo or SPO, I don't know how to say his name correctly, or Silver, which is my comfort character, Shadow, Tails, etc. I actually got comfortable with the fandom again by, using coping techniques, slowly getting back into it, drawing the characters, and, cutting toxic people out of my life that bring toxic things about the fandom into my life. I actually have 2 pictures of Silver the Hedgehog on my wall. So, editor me will put up the votes right now. Those were the votes. It was, I think, Sick Tails the Fox X Listener, which is you taking care of Tails. Rise Leo, Wilbur X Listener Comfort, and then John Doe X Listener Daddy Issues / Comfort Edition, which is John Doe comforting you about daddy issues. If I do not do John Doe, because this is 1 out of 4 videos, because I have to do a mini practice on doing John Doe's voice. If I constantly fail, I will do one of these 3 YouTubers that I am putting up on the screen. So I hope you guys enjoy. Sorry for wasting most of your time. Now let's get straight into it. So before we begin, here's a start off. So Tails had constantly been ignoring you for multiple days, and it turned into weeks. You began to worry about him and didn't see him usually making his mint tea or going to the store. He just ignored you or was sneaking out. You caught him sneaking out once, but sadly couldn't catch up to him since he uses helicopter-like tails to, fly away. One evening, you finally saw Tails making his peppermint tea, but he seemed like he had a blanket around him, 2 bandages, one being on his ear and another being on his left knee. His tails were down, just completely down. They weren't in a little hook shape like he usually is. So you decide to come up behind him and gently tap him on the shoulder. And you say, Tails? He yelps and jumps up a little bit, being startled. Listener, hi. Hi, you startled me. I don't think you should be around me, he said while lifting his cover up to his face a little bit, before letting out a mostly adorable sneeze. Excuse me. You chuckled slightly and said, Tails, are you sick? Is this why you've been avoiding me this whole time? He let out a soft sigh and said, Yes, this is the reason why I've been ignoring you. It's because I'm sick. I have a sore throat mostly. I have a cold and I just don't feel good. He looked away and continued to make his peppermint tea. After he was done, you politely asked him to sit down. He did as told. You sat down next to him and politely asked, Tails, if it's okay, could I check your temperature? He nodded slightly, his ears going flat so you can, like, normally touch his forehead. You did it the normal way. You first put your palm on his head, then flipped it around. Then you checked his neck and then his chest. Respectfully, of course. He was burning hot. You took your hand off his neck and said, "Oh, God," while shaking your hand slightly. "You're burning. You have a fever." He sneezes again. "Bless you," you said. And then you grabbed a wet towel, a cold wet towel, and slightly rinsed it off and placed it on his forehead. He seemed relieved. His tail was twitching a little bit. "I'm sorry that I'm making you worry about me. You shouldn't be taking care of me. I know how to take care of myself. I'm independent and I'm an adult." You sighed and chuckled and said, "Tails, just because you're an adult doesn't just make you independent, but sometimes you need a little help when it comes to taking care of yourself, you know?" I know that, but still, I prefer to do things by myself. It's better, and I don't want to bother you. You gently pull him closer, giving him a hug, and you said, "I care about you, and we all live in this house, so whether you, Sonic, Knuckles, no matter who, is sick, I will take care of you, just like you did the same for me." You're right. I'm really sorry for, avoiding you and stuff. That was a little rude of me for not just, saying, "Hey, Ryan, could we have a little space, Yeah. He had a long pause, not knowing what to say. You giggled softly and said, "It's okay. Honestly, I had a feeling since it's quite snowy outside and it's been cold. Fall season, a little bit of snow here and there, storms. And honestly, Halloween's right around the corner, so after Halloween, comes Thanksgiving and Christmas, and then lots of snow, especially where we live, so." To your calculations, yes, we live in a very, not awfully weathered place, but snowy when it comes to, when it gets cold. You kissed his forehead and laid him down on the couch. "Okay, you lay down with your blanket. Just tell me if you need anything," you said as you went to the kitchen and started making him some of his favorite food. I don't know what Tails likes to eat, besides, liking to eat mints and drink peppermint tea. But I'll just say he likes macaroni and cheese for dinner because I feel like Tails would like macaroni and cheese. I just can see that. You made him some mac and cheese and his favorite drink, which is not a minty drink, don't even think about it. And you placed it in front of him and scooted the coffee table closer. As he reached to get his fork, you said, Here, just lay back a little bit," you said as he laid back a little. You got a, not spoonful, but let's just say forkful of mac and cheese, blew on it slightly because it was hot, and you said, "Say, huh?" He took a big nibble out of that mac and cheese and he loved it. He ate the whole bowl, drank his drink, and he was right asleep after. You checked his temperature again. He was cooling off slightly. You sighed happily and went upstairs to tell Sonic. After telling Sonic, you came back downstairs to see Tails was no longer there. You wondered where did he go? You went down to the basement and saw he was continuing to work on his boots for Shadow, since Shadow had accidentally gone into water with his boots and he was working on new boots for him. You let out a small gasp and picked up Tails from behind. Even though he is slightly taller than you, you can still pick him up because he is taller with his boots on. Right now, he is about an inch smaller than you due to not having his boots on. He let out a sharp gasp. Hey, put me down. Hey, I'm trying to work on Shadow's boots. You roll your eyes slightly and said, "What did I say? No working in your workshop while you're sick," you said as you gently threw him over your shoulder. His tail's wiggling around from side to side due to him being a little feisty. Take a sip of this Monster Energy, not sponsored. He kept whining and giving these small fox hisses as you gently placed him down on his bed afterwards. You tucked him in and wiped a little bit of oil he had on his face. And then you said, "Next time, I won't be so friendly. Not that I'll be rude to you, but I'll just snatch you up and put you in your bed. If not, if you're all dirty, I'll just place you in the bathtub," you said before giving him a smooch on his forehead. "Look, you need to rest up. You can't just overwork yourself. That'll make you even more sick. Because I know you were feeling cold without your little blanket. Because I've had a cold and a fever before. So I know what you're going through," you said while gently petting his ears, making him, make soft fox purrs, if foxes even purr. He soon fell asleep. You stayed on the edge of his bed, thinking to yourself, if he's gonna get better or worse, or maybe he just needs some time. I mean, last time that he went on a mission, he had to go up some snowy mountains, and that's probably what got him sick. You told him multiple times not to go with Silver. Even Silver told him not to go. Yet, he still wanted to test his inventions, and they worked. But he didn't want to wear a puffy jacket. He just wanted to do it on his own. Even though he's old enough, he still has a childish brain, which is cute. Seeing his childish side still around is adorable. He's not like the others, always being mature and boring and just being adults. Besides Silver and Sonic still having their child sides to them. And Amy, of course. Can't forget her. She comes around with treats and stuff. Cream is a teenager. And that's how his life been. You let out a soft sigh before doing your nightly duties and tucking yourself in bed next to Tails. Time skipping to the middle of the night, mostly like 1, 2 a.m. Tails surprisingly was cuddling you, his face buried in your chest, and his tails wrapped around your waist. He was cuddling you very close. He seemed to be very comfortable. You did your best not to move while wrapping your arms around him, keeping him close as you gently rubbed his ears and petted his head. He smiled in his sleep before he slowly nuzzled your neck. It was adorable, seeing how affectionate he is when he's asleep, even though he can be a bit of a jerk sometimes and be a little mean, but that's okay. In the morning, Tails was already up. You were about to rush downstairs and put him on the sofa or on his bed again. But you just took a deep breath and went downstairs to see Tails making breakfast. He didn't seem to have his bandages on anymore, nor his blanket around him, nor sniffling or just having droopy eyes. His tails were, in his normal form, or just normally swaying around like they always do. You tilted your head and came up to Tails and said, "Huh, how did you get better so quickly?" He had a small grin on his face and said, "If it wasn't for you, I would still be lying down in bed and sniffling, coughing, sneezing. I mean, you kept giving me medicine and, soup and tea. Thinking about it, I might have some peppermint tea myself this morning." You chuckled and said, "I told you, you can't just always be independent for yourself. Sometimes you need a little help." "Yeah, I might have changed my opinion on that," he said before lightly smooching your forehead. "Now go sit down. Breakfast will be ready in a little bit," he said, smiling brightly. And that's all for today, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. We just reached 6.7 or 70 something subscribers, and I am so thankful for that. We are so close to 7K subscribers, so I hope we can reach my goal, which is 10K subscribers, and I am so happy to be back. I might live stream tomorrow, and little hint, I do not have school on Monday, so I might stay up late on Sunday and record a few more videos. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!